Becoming a millionaire in your 20s might sound like a dream, but I'm here to tell you it is possible. In fact, it happened to me. In this video, I'm going to share the 7 key habits that helped me to go from zero to becoming a multi-millionaire in my 20s. These are not the habits that you hear in every other video. These are the habits that really move the needle forwards for me. So stick around, because if you apply these habits to your life too, you could be setting yourself up for massive success. And before we dive in, do me a quick favor, hit the like button. It will help me to reach more people like you for whom this video might be really valuable too. And if you haven't done so yet, also make sure to subscribe to my channel, because I'm posting regular videos like this one to help you to grow as a person, to help you to grow as an investor and as an entrepreneur. So let's dive in. The 7 habits that made me a multi-millionaire in my 20s. Okay, the first habit, which is a really important one, is you need to learn how to minimize decision-making fatigue. So many years ago, and this was in my teenage years, I was binge-watching many interviews and videos about Steve Jobs. And one thing that I noticed was that regardless of Steve Jobs' super high net worth, here you see on my screen, by the age of 25, his net worth was already somewhere around $250 million. And he was also one of the youngest people ever to make it on the Forbes list of the nation's richest people. So I was wondering, like, if Steve Jobs is so wealthy, why do I see him on stage and every time he's having an interview in the same outfit? I just couldn't comprehend it, because at that time as a teenager, I always wanted to look good. So when I went out with friends in the weekend to party, I always made sure that I had a nice new outfit. So I went to Zara, or sometimes I splurged my money on designer clothes. And this gave me the feeling that I had a high status as a young man looking to find hot girls, so to say. But every morning when I woke up, I had to open my wardrobe and I had to decide what outfit I was going to wear. And one thing that I learned from Steve Jobs was his whole philosophy, why he is always wearing this black turtleneck and his blue jeans, is that Steve Jobs understood that during the day, you can only make 7 to 8 really great decisions. After every decision you make, you start to build up decision-making fatigue. So every following decision that you make is going to have less of an impact, or will be less good. So you need to become very conscious of what you are spending your brain power on, because you have a very limited amount of brain power. So if you would wake up like me as a teenager and you would open your closet and you would decide what clothes you're going to wear to impress your friends, your surroundings, and then you would dress up, then you would go down, you would open up your fridge, and all of the foods that your parents put in your fridge, you decide, okay, today I'm going to have this and this and this for breakfast. Those are already 2 decisions that you have made before you actually started the day. So later on in my 20s, when I grasped this concept after doing a lot of research, I started to standardize many different things in my life. So when you look at my YouTube videos, you often see me in the same outfits. I would say I have around 10 different t-shirts, a few different shirts, a few different pants, all very simple. I wouldn't say very expensive designer stuff with big Gucci or Versace logos. No, it's all black without any print. It's really good, high quality stuff, I would say, but it's just simple. 3 pairs of black shirts, 3 pairs of white shirts, 3 pairs of this color shirt. It's all very simple. So when I wake up in the morning, I just grab some stuff. I know that it already matches the colors, because I don't have any weird colors that don't match with each other. So I don't need to spend brain power on it. Next, I wake up, my breakfast is always standardized, so I don't need to think about it. I don't waste any decision-making power. Then when I go to the gym, I have my training schedule already worked out, so I don't need to determine like, okay, today I'm going to train this muscle group, I'm going to use these and these machines. No, everything is already standardized. When I'm recording this video, of course, unfortunately you cannot see it, but my whole setup is created that only I need to press a few buttons, turn on a few lights, and I can record it. So I have standardized as much as possible in my life so that I can leave my decision-making power, or I can use my decision-making power, my 7 to 8 great decisions that I can make during a day, to apply them to decisions that really make a big impact. And by becoming really conscious of that, I feel that my decisions have been a lot better, and that I've been able to make much bigger moves than normal people who aren't that conscious of their decision-making fatigue. So that is one habit which I definitely recommend you to also implement in your life. It will free up a lot of your brain power to focus on the things that truly matter. Now, let's move on to the second habit. So the second habit is to approach wealth as a mindset, not a destination. So I remember that as an entrepreneur, when I first embarked on my journey, I made my first $10,000, and I suddenly had some money in my bank account, and I started to wonder, like, what can I spend this money on? So I started to search. All right, can I invest it, or can I buy a Rolex to impress my friends? Can I buy more clothes? Maybe I should go on a holiday, or go to a nice restaurant and order a good steak or a lobster. So my mind was thinking like a poor person. I had a poor mindset. And what do poor people do when they get money? They spend it because society programs them to become consumers so that they remain stuck in the system. They remain stuck in the matrix. It is by design that the education system doesn't teach us how to invest, because they want us to take a job, get a mortgage, pay off debt for the rest of your life, and be stuck in the system. In the early 1900s, John D. Rockefeller created the Education Board, which created the modern education curriculum. And his philosophy was he didn't want to create a nation of thinkers, but he wanted to create a nation of workers. Ones that weren't asking any critical questions, were obeying the authorities, and were just really great workers for a modest salary that was just enough to go around. So I started to notice that if I actually wanted to become wealthy, it was upon myself to educate myself, because the education system wasn't going to teach me how to become wealthy. My parents weren't going to teach me how to become wealthy. So I started to seek out mentors. I started to find books, and I started to educate myself. Up till now, I have invested around $165,000 in different mentors. And there's one quote by Warren Buffett, and it's the following: "The more you learn, the more you earn." So here you see a picture of me at one of my mentors' castles. His name is Dan Pena. He's also known as a $1 trillion man. So I spent $30,000 to learn from him. This man has a net worth of, I believe, $500 million. So it's a very high net worth individual. So for me, it was a really asymmetrical investment, meaning that it was a very small investment for a very high value knowledge that I was able to acquire during that 1 week at his castle. There's a video on my YouTube channel. It was actually one of the first videos I ever posted on my YouTube channel, where I explain how this 1 week at his castle was and what I learned. I also spent $30,000 to learn from Sam Ovens. In case you don't know Sam Ovens, he was the founder of consulting.com. He currently sold it. But Sam Ovens taught me how to go from a marketeer to becoming a really great business owner. Those two are completely separate things. He learned me how to systemize my business, how to hire great people, how to create HR policies, how to manage my finances. Next, we have Wim Hof, the Iceman. So Wim Hof is known for cold exposure, taking cold showers, doing breathing exercises. And now you might wonder, why do I put Wim Hof in this lineup of people? Dan Pena, super entrepreneur, Sam Ovens, also really well-known entrepreneur, and then Wim Hof. Well, I believe that if you want to achieve wealth and success as an individual, you should look at it and as a holistic thing. I believe that you need to understand everything from your body to skills to make money, but also spirituality. I believe you should always take a holistic approach to becoming wealthy. Tai Lopez always says health, wealth, love, and happiness. So learning how to make money, learning how to stay in shape and being healthy, learning how to have really great relationships with your partner, but also your friends. What did I say? Health, wealth, love, and happiness. And learning how to become happy. What are the drivers that make you happy? Because if you're only working super hard, then you might end up in a depression, and it might counter all of the stuff that you've been working so hard for. So work on yourself. Approach wealth as a mindset, not a destination. If you're simply pursuing money, then you are going to end up in a very empty life. I remember that my goal when I embarked on my entrepreneurial journey was to generate my first $1 million in revenue. And I thought that the moment that I would hit my first $1 million, the life would completely change. People would suddenly respect me more. Girls would like me more. I would suddenly gain the respect of my parents. And then the moment I actually hit that first $1 million of revenue, nothing changed. And I believe if you keep setting these financial goals for yourself, and if those are the only goals that you set for yourself, then I believe it's a road with a dead end. That's not where you're going to find true happiness and fulfillment. Okay, habit number 3, you need to build momentum again daily. So we all have this voice in our head, the voice that tells you that you can just do that work later, or you can stay in your bed for a few more minutes, or that you can snooze one more time, or that you're not good enough, or that it's also fine if you do the work tomorrow, or maybe next month, or first you should take a power nap or hang out with your buddies before you get to work. This voice in your mind never goes away. And you need to show it how to become that you are the boss and it's not the boss over you. So how do you do this? Well, everyone has their own methodology. But my methodology is that every morning when I wake up, I start with small wins. So I've created my routine for myself. I first go in Slack, I check how my team is doing, then I check my email, I see if there's any important issues with customers that I need to get involved in. Then I have a block of deep work where I pick up smaller projects. Then I have my team meetings where I delegate important work, and then I work on bigger projects, and in the evening I record a YouTube video. And throughout the day I notice that in the morning there's a lot of resistance for me to pick up big projects. But if I have this routine where I start with small wins to build up momentum, then my momentum starts to compound throughout the day. And this is daily momentum. But also, if you keep doing this for the longer term and you build up momentum every day, then also the momentum that you're going to have is going to increase every single day. And throughout the weeks and months that you're doing this, you are going to be able to make a bigger and bigger impact and to achieve bigger and bigger things. I almost compare this to playing a video game. Maybe you were playing World of Warcraft, RuneScape, GTA. So we all start with a level 1 character. And you need to level up this character. And you do that by defeating some animals or doing some quests. And once your character starts to level, you're able to complete bigger missions or bigger quests, and you can defeat stronger opponents. And I believe that every single day you need to level up your character by doing small wins, small quests, beating smaller enemies. And by doing so, you level up. And if you keep doing this consistently, at one point you'll become unstoppable and you will be the best person within the game. That's a very geeky explanation. I used to be a total game addict when I was in my teenage years. But after a while, after like When I was 18, I remember I was looking forward to getting the newest version of GTA. And when I started to play GTA, I was so happy. I was so excited to embark on a new journey, to level up my character, to acquire properties, to get money, to get girlfriends within the game, whatever. I was so excited. And then one day, it hit me. I was like, why am I so excited to play GTA if this is just merely a simulation? After I completed playing GTA, then all of my time and energy would be lost. The world is like GTA 2. I can also go on missions, quests, I can level my character, I can get a great physique, I can earn money, get properties, and it never goes away. It will stick with me forever. So why spend all of this precious time in a virtual world if I could also achieve all of those things in the real world? And that's when I never touched a controller in my life ever again. That was the final day of my gaming addiction, and I just became addicted to playing the game of life. Now, we went on a little tangent about building up momentum, but this is the analogy that I use for life. Life is a video game, and you need to level up your character every single day. Okay, habit number 4 is celebrating your failures. So oftentimes we forget to celebrate our wins, and we make our failures super hard and painful, and we get stressed out about it. Sometimes we get ashamed. But here's the thing. Every time you fail, you learn. I don't even see failing as something bad. You just figured out one other way not to do it. So for me, winning is just a matter of time. As long as you don't give up, you don't fail. Because every time you get stuck, it just forces you to learn, to grow, to acquire new skills, and to level up your character. Here's the analogy of the game again. You need to constantly level up your character. And part of leveling up your character is sometimes failing. Now, previously, I had an online education company with 2 business partners, Cha and Virgil. And we had a ritual for ourselves. If we would have a big failure within our team or within our company, then we would go out and celebrate by having a nice dinner and celebrating and reflecting upon our failure. So I remember one time we hired a new marketeer and we wanted to run a very big advertising campaign. We had $10,000 that we were going to spend within a time frame of 2 to 3 days. And our marketeer turned on the ads, spent all of the ad spend, and in the end, we didn't have any sales. Looking back, our marketeer made a very big error. He actually didn't send the traffic to the right link, hence we didn't make any sales. So we could have gotten very angry that our marketeer burned all of this money. Instead, we celebrated him. We congratulated him because we knew that he was never, ever going to do this again, and that he would more diligently check everything before he would turn the ads on again. So this is just one example of a big failure, but the path of entrepreneurship, the path of investing, the path of life is filled with failures. If you make very negative associations in your mind with failures, you're going to have a very tough time. So learn how to celebrate your failure. So here you see a picture of me with my 2 ex-business partners. We ordered the best Peking duck in town, and we made a joke and we laughed about our failures, because life and failures is just part of it, you know, it's part of the game. So make a positive association, celebrate your failures, because you've learned and you've grown as a person. Okay. Now, habit number 5 that I want to share with you is that you should learn how to understand the compound effect in everything. So one of my philosophies is to become 1% better every single day. So when you wake up, your only mission of the day is, how can I become 1% better? And I want to show you my journey. This is a picture of me in 2017. I was completely lost. I was stuck in my 9-to-5 job in Silicon Valley. I knew that I didn't want to stay at that job for the rest of my life, and I had to find a way out. I was watching a ton of different YouTube videos all over the place, and I heard so many different perspectives, different business models, different worldviews, that I was completely lost and overwhelmed. Nevertheless, I did not give up. I kept on pushing through. So I started to acquire skills. You see a picture of me. Every single day I was reading for 1 or 2 hours in parallel to my daytime job. So I was learning, I was growing, I was putting all of the pieces of the puzzle together. Then in the next period, I actually started to implement all of this. Of course, I didn't hit my success straight away. I failed 9 different businesses before. Sorry, what did I say? I failed 5 different businesses before my next one became a success. So after 9 months of failing, I finally cracked the code and I generated my first $1 million of revenue. 3 years later, of working on myself, growing as a person, acquiring more skills, I hit another big milestone of achieving $10 million worth in revenue. And now I'm at a point where we've done around $25 million worth of revenue. And this is because every single day I keep on learning, I keep on growing, because if I just get 1% better every single day, it keeps on stacking, it keeps on compounding. And it doesn't matter if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to become an investor, if you want to build your dream body. The same principle holds true. Just try to become 1% better. Experiment with new things, acquire new knowledge, acquire new mentors, keep implementing, keep failing, learning, and growing. That's the only way to achieve success in any part of life. Habit number 6 is control your environment to influence your success. So one of my mentors, here you see a picture of me with him, is Dan Peña. Dan Peña is known as a $1 trillion man. And he has this famous quote: "Show me your friends and I will show you your future." This comes down to the fact that you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. During my early 20s, I was part of a fraternity. All of my friends were drinking, partying, and laying on the couch with a massive hangover. After 2 years, I was completely fed up. I didn't want this to be my life for the following few years. So instead, I decided to do something completely opposite of what they were doing. I moved to a small town outside of Amsterdam, and I locked myself up with my 2 business partners, and we made an agreement with ourselves that we weren't going to leave this house and we weren't going to get distracted unless we hit our first $1 million of revenue. And I created something that I call my momentum bubble. Now, what is my momentum bubble? That every single day I would just surround myself with positive people, with people that would encourage my dreams, with people that would have a positive impact on my habits, with people that would hold me accountable to achieving my goals, to going to the gym, people that we could also have really interesting conversations with amongst each others. So with this momentum bubble, it really enforced my own momentum. So what I told you earlier with habit number 3, you need to build momentum again. But if you have a toxic environment with people that are only partying, drinking, with people that are doubting you, that are basically being very negative about you and your dreams, then it's going to become harder and harder to maintain that momentum. So instead, I locked myself up with my business partners, a few of our team members, and other people that were having the same mindset and were reading books and working on themselves, and we would keep each other in momentum. And I think this momentum bubble helped me to go from 0 to 7 figures in revenue in 9 months time, because I was building up that momentum every day, and because my surroundings were positively contributing to my success. So right now I want to give you a piece of homework. Look around you very critically, and is your environment and are your friends, the people that you hang around with the most, are they having a positive influence on your life, or are they holding you back? And what can you do to build your own momentum bubble? Now let's talk about habit number 7, which is to compete with your past self and not with others. We live in the era of social media, and social media is a very interesting place because you can keep track of everything that your friends are doing, that the people that you look up to are doing, and it's a great place to get inspiration. But here is a very big pitfall. Social media is fake. Everyone on social media, or many people on social media, portray a perfect life of themselves. They don't share with you what's really going on. And I've seen this so many times that people are putting up a facade on social media. To give you an example, I've lived in Dubai for 2 years straight. And Dubai is one of those places where everyone goes to show their flashy lifestyle, to go on expensive dinners. But I've been in a position very often where you see these people that are showing off on social media, but in reality, when you talk with them one-on-one and they open up, they tell you that actually they have some financial problems, they don't have a lot of money to spend, and if I could take care of the bill of the dinner, for example. So what you see on social media is not reality, and that's why I believe that if you're measuring yourself with what you're seeing on social media, you are taking a false benchmark. And I personally believe that a much better and objective benchmark that you can take to measure your progress against is your past self. So I always look at my past self from yesterday, and I compare myself today with in what ways have I taken steps forward to improve myself from where I was yesterday. And this helps me to clear up a lot of external impulses which might not be the reality, which might give me a false sense that I am falling behind on my goals, or that I'm not growing as fast as I want to grow because some other person on social media, which is not giving you the real reality, is showing that now they've bought this house or this car, or that they're having this expensive dinner. That is just the wrong benchmark. So for your own mental sanity, I think it's much better to compare yourself to who you were yesterday instead of other people. Now, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. This was a brain dump from me to help you to gain more momentum. Again, important word here, momentum in your life. And if you found it useful and valuable, make sure to smash the like button so I know that at least you got good value out of it. And I'm really curious to hear in the comments below which one of these 7 habits are you going to implement in your life. So let me recap them one more time. Learn how to minimize decision-making fatigue. Approach wealth as a mindset, not a destination. Build momentum again every single day. Celebrate your failures. Understand the compound effect in everything. And control your environment to influence your success, or in other words, create your own momentum bubble. And finally, compete with your past self, not with others on social media. So yeah, let me know in the comments below which one of these habits are you going to implement. That being said, peace out, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.